Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Alright, so if you guys like the direction that my content is going in, or my channel is going in, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos with anybody you think may benefit from them, and keep on doing that because that's going to help me grow my channel. You know, I got a lot of game that I want to drop on y'all, and I figure, it's going to help somebody. So, today's topic actually just came from a random spot. Like I was in the kitchen earlier and I was making my meals, doing some meal prep, and there were three songs in particular that inspired me to come up with today's video. So the topic will be tumultuous emotions, which I'm pretty sure all of us have, but particularly for me, and I bet a lot of young black males feel the same way. Like we're never really addressing our emotions. For the most part, we suppress them and always want to keep up a facade of strength. But I figure there's some type of purification that takes place whenever you actually face your emotions and do your best to decode what's going on with them. So I'm going to talk about some topics that I think contribute to tumultuous emotions from the young black male perspective, and probably other people can relate to it too, but I'm specifically speaking to my brothers out there, man, because it's a lot of things that we're facing. But as far as the music, I've always been a real big fan of lyrics and any type of beautiful composition where instruments and originality and creativity are all meshed into one. So one of these days I'm going to make a video actually about some of the albums that I listen to and some noteworthy songs that have always been on my playlist, right? So Wu-Tang Forever. They dropped that album back in like 97. It still gets heavy play for me today. Not only from the impressive lyricism, but also because of the messages that they have that usually fly over most people's head. I mean, we living in an age where most people are kind of dumbed down. So I can't even, like, to give you an idea of how complex their lyrical sentences are, I can't even really spit back a Raekwon verse to you. I can just tell you how mind-blowing it is just recalling some of the stuff that they said and how they put it together. But it was two songs in particular that I heard today that inspired me to make this video. Number one was the intro to that album, which they have two discs. And if you listen to disc one, the intro is so powerful, yo. It is so powerful because it automatically comes out with basically, I think it's ODB, who was in like a drunken stupor, kind of complaining to someone, saying like, breaking down, basically saying like, yo, I'm calling my black woman a bitch. I'm, in these streets, I'm hooked on all these drugs. Like, can you help me, man? Can you help me, brother, please? And then you got a dude who's basically, sounding like a preacher. And what he's saying is, he's explaining that the plight of black people was designed by a certain other group of people. And he's just going into detail about it, and he's spitting from a 5%er perspective. All right, so most of the people in Wu-Tang were 5%ers. 5%ers are an offshoot of the Nation of Islam, so Muslims. But they had an interesting ideology that honestly a lot of people ask me if I'm 5%er due to the fact that I identify with their methodology. And it's basically that their supreme knowledge or supreme wisdom of the earth, and there's a miseducation of black people, especially in America, that has caused us to be a permanent underclass, and it serves the dominant white society to keep us in that mindset. But you can change it all through knowledge of self, right? So they talk about how the ideology of 5%er comes from the idea that 85% of the people are blind and ignorant. Then you have 10% of people who exploit the fact that those 85% are blind. And then you have that last 5%, which are poor righteous teachers who are going around spreading the message that will wake up many people when they communicate with them. So that intro, I would challenge any of y'all to just go on YouTube and just type Wu-Tang Forever Disc 1 intro and just listen to that all the way through. So that had me already feeling like, man, I gotta make a video, talking about emotions. Then the second song I listened to was actually Impossible, which is on disc 2. I think it's like song number 3. And RZA's first verse. Bro, like, I feel like people sleep on Wu-Tang, man. Like, and I think it's because most people really don't have a mind for these complex lyrics. But everything he said in his verse is true. Literally everything. And that was in 1997. Look at 2020, 23 years back. Everything he said is already true. All right. And the last song that I was listening to, shout out to Outkast, because I love they Aquemini is, to me, an album that will always get rotation. It will always get plays on my playlist, like hands down. And their last song, which is called Liberator or Liberation, is like next to the last song. I challenge y'all to listen to the last dude's verse. He came on right after Erykah Badu, and he was using like a spoken word style of delivering his lyrics. Just mind blowing, all the stuff he had to say, right? So after I heard those 3 songs, I was like, you know what, I gotta sit down and make this video about Tumultuous Emotions. So kind of came to me just like a vision. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is like how one contributor to my emotions kind of being like a volcano underneath the surface is, I got red pilled. I took the red pill and jumped down the rabbit hole to try to understand how the world works. And it was like the further I got into it, the further, how can I say it? The further I jumped into the rabbit hole, the more I realized I can never go back to the level of awareness that I had before. Like, before I jumped into this, research and trying to figure out the occult and how the world really works behind the scenes, I always felt like something was off about the world. And I would get like little confirmations of that when I'd be in school, for example. When I would realize the curriculum was so cut and boxed in, and it didn't really force me to think critically. So I was already feeling like, I feel like there's some type of deception that's going on here, because you are only giving us like a little packaged up version of all American history. And I'm supposed to take that and go out in the world feeling like, as a black person, I didn't do anything to contribute to the success of any civilization. I was just always a slave. But then when I would read Encyclopedia Britannica or any other books outside of school, I was seeing that we were the original people, and everything, all DNA that can be found on the earth is coming from black men and black women, but we never get the credit for it. Or, I see how like we just face so many different things around the world, and I'm like, all right, I'm not really able to put my thumb on it whenever I go to school. But I thought school was supposed to be to educate me, but then it never felt like that. So, I just realized the whole world is very deceiving, and many people are totally oblivious to this, and it makes you feel like, I know there's something more to know. So I feel like that contributes to tumultuous emotions. Second thing is, of course, this is blatant and obvious, like racism. Basically, if you ain't white, you're facing a whole bunch of racism, and it's by design. Like, it's institutional. It's in everywhere in society. Is you watch TV, you don't really have any positive images. And over time, black people are very, very resilient, specifically black people. I can't speak for you if you're, from Pakistan or whatever. Like, you racism is real. And it's basically anybody who's not white is going to be facing it. But specifically for black people, I can just salute all of us, because we're so resilient that we always come out with a different way to revolutionize something. Like, black people, we only like 4% of the world population in the United States, but everything we come out with winds up being copied around the whole world. So that's a cool thing, but to know that, there's a system that's constantly upgrading itself to keep you locked into a situation, or to keep you like in a level of ignorance, it becomes draining to know that you're a person who's, let's say, woke, and then everywhere you turn, there's some type of agenda or psychological warfare technique to make you ostracized compared to the majority. You see what I mean? Another thing I would say contributes to the way I feel right now, like just feeling like my emotions are just going at war with each other, is the death of attraction. Like, I feel like when you're in a long-term relationship, man, it's just inevitable that you will get to a point where you're just not really so attracted to the person that you're with. And that's like, that kind of breaks my heart, man. It makes me sad to know, like, man, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how good you want to be, how much you try to improve, how much you think you can contribute to a relationship. You're going to always fall short somewhere. And, you know, I look at dudes who are married. I look at dudes who are in relationships. It's always the good dudes, too. The guys who are really, you know, they have good intentions and stuff. I just see like the sparkle that's in their eye when they were like by themselves or when they were younger, it just disappears. And it just makes me like sad. It makes me just upset to know, like, dang, so I don't think anybody's able to beat that. You know, there's a death of attraction that just happens when you get familiar with the same person. You lose the ability or the desire to seduce them. You lose the, you know, the flirtatious butterfly feeling that you had when you talked to them in the beginning. And it's like, dang, can you ever get back to that point? So it's just saddening. Another thing is like this fear-based mind control. I mean, I made a video about psychological warfare already, but if y'all don't believe it, I mean, just think about how many things are getting put out there to make you feel in a state of fear. You know, you got the coronavirus every day. Like, I hear something about corona. It's like, man, get the fuck out of my face with the bullshit. I don't want to hear about it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I know it's real. I'm not going to say that it's not real. I'm not going to say that, you know, it's unfortunate that some people die from it. But I'm saying, look at the fucking facts. Nobody's talking about the actual facts. Oh, 200,000 cases in America. Yeah, 200,000 cases in America. But how many people are there in America? 330 million. 3 million would be 1%. So this means that it's a fraction of 1%. And of the fraction of 1%, how many people just survived from it? How many of y'all actually found out that the person died from corona? Was it really corona, or are they just labeling anything that comes in the hospital right now that has a cough and a sneeze as corona? Y'all don't know that. You see what I mean? And a person like me looks into it, and then I find that out, and then I realize I can't even talk to the average person because they're talking from fear-based mind control. They've been programmed to think that everywhere they go, mask, keep this, The reality says otherwise. You know, but like I said, when you jump in a rabbit hole, you're going to have a red pill way of looking at the world. You see things way different. And, you know, I'm past the point where I want to argue or fuss or fight or be the only one in the room who sees something. So it's like, I just be quiet and I just see, like, damn, we really are a nation of sheep. I believe every fucking thing. Another thing that's making me feel like upset and have like emotions rumbling underneath the surface is this attack on masculinity, yo. And it's just, I gotta say, that shit really makes me massage my temples and go, oh my God. Like, I can't escape it. I can't escape it. Everywhere I look, man, you know, I work on a military base. I just see, excuse my French, but soldiers just got so fucking pussified. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy, man. Masculine ass females, you know, females coming up talking shit and doing this and acting like they'll do something and acting like they bucking up and shit like that. And then the dudes are all quiet and submissive and following. And I'm just like, whoa, what? This is just crazy. Like, what happened to just masculine men, dog? Like, everywhere I turn, some soft ass bitches. Like, man, I'm tired of it. And I'm not even a hard dude. I'm not even a dude who walking around alpha male, you know, strutting and trying to poke my chest out and act like I was whooping anybody's ass. And I'm not even the most hard dude. I'm just a normal dude, actually. Actually, a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Cash used to try to tease me for being pretty boy and this and that. I mean, you could try me if you want and get your fucking ass scraped. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not a dude who's trying to act hard or nothing. But even me, I feel like, dang, like, am I the last one left? It's crazy. Another thing is like inner demons. You know what I'm saying? We all have them. And I've been doing a good job keeping my shit at bay, but I realize like it's a constant attack. You know what I mean? I haven't watched pornography or masturbated seriously over a month now. But every once in a while I see my mind trying to go that direction. And it's like, dang, like why the fuck can't it just be permanent that I'm just thinking like that? Why are these urges trying to get me? And I realize it's inner demons trying to whisper in your ear, well, why not? Just try it. Just, oh, it won't be that bad. It's okay for you. And it's like, man, get the fuck out my face. You know? Like, I'm trying to suppress all urges, and I gotta say, it's hard. It is hard, but it's worth it in the end. And then you have the ascension process, which makes me sad because I realize that I'm on my own in this shit. I mean, I can bump into other people that are inspired by me, or that, you know, they're on their journey, but at the end of the day, we're all going on our separate paths to enlightenment. It's a hard pill to swallow, man, because it makes you realize, like, dang, so the further I get in my spirituality, the more alone I will be. Not necessarily like lonely. You know, I'm not sitting around crying at the end of my bed saying, "Oh man, I wish I had friends and shit." No, I'm saying, like, you're alone, and you will be more and more alone the more you grow and learn. So hopefully I'll meet other people on the other side. But, you know, I don't want this video to go on too long. You know, I'm just trying to talk about, like, tumultuous emotions, because I think we all have them. You know, and if I'm being all the way 100 with y'all, the other day, man, I just sat in my room and I just cried, bro. Because, I mean, it's just so much shit. You know, whether it be from, you know, all the truth that I've learned, where all my illusions have been destroyed. I really see the world for what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not really so pleased at what I see. And I realize that I have a personal responsibility to make myself the highest level self that I can be, but it's lonely on the process, man. There might be people I have to drop out of my life. You know, facing, you know, the trauma from Iraq that I saw as a medic. You know, seeing how society is going and how, you know, like, it's all these attacks on us. Like, I just had to have a real good cry, bro, and it was, like, purifying. But, you know, now it's back at it. So that's neither here nor there, man. Like, I just wanted to keep it real with y'all and drop this video about tumultuous emotions. Because I know all of us have it, especially as men, especially as a black man. Yo, you're almost walking around, like James Baldwin said, you're almost walking around in a state of rage all the time. If you're really conscious of what's going on around you, it's hard not to be fucking pissed all the time. But you can't be pissed all the time, you see? So, you know, I'm going to drop it right there. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler back.